Happy New Year, everyone. This is your host, Deanna Kuempel of Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. I'm super excited to start off this new year with this episode. I have a special guest. His name is Jerry Penry. He's legislative research. He has his own website called We Stand For Freedom, which I really resonate with. And he also represents National Write Your Congressman. So I'm going to have Jerry. Thank you for being a guest, Jerry. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, thank you so much. I'm honored to take part in this episode with you just because it's so important and relevant right now because of everything that's going on. People seem like they're at a loss for a direction, something to wrap their fingers around, to grab hold of, and they question sometimes what's really going on. And so my number one role is to educate and equip and empower. I want to offer encouragement. I want to give you courage to go ahead and stand on your beliefs and go ahead and know the right way to take action. So there's an appropriate manner and method to use what you believe in this political forum, but you don't have to become a political activist to be a responsible American. But most people prefer to operate in a realm of truth.
Yes.
Whatever that is, because truth will set you free. Sometimes it's not easily digested. Sometimes it's not pleasant, but if it is truth, not some person's truth or version of the truth, but the absolute truth, you can operate in that. And you can fundamentally come up with some sense of direction to follow. And that would align with your moral compass and your belief system. So I'm not here to change anybody's belief system or political viewpoint. Okay. I'm here to encourage them to take that, but also check it with the facts to make sure it aligns with the facts.
Yeah.
And then the way they know which course to take. So they can go as deep as they want to be. But once again, you don't have to become a political activist to make a difference.
Agreed. And I think that from this last year, and like this is super important right now. You and I connected on LinkedIn, which I'm very happy that we did. We had a great conversation the first time around, and then you kind of showed me this great resource. But why don't we kind of like go back a little bit? Why don't you tell the audience like what brought a little bit about your background and what brought you to where you are today?
Sure. Well, like most people, we're exactly where we're at by all the things that have taken place in our life. That's kind of put us where we are.
Yes.
And so you can either learn from your situations in life you go through, the hard, the good, the bad, the ugly, and hopefully you learn from it and, not repeat mistakes. And so, I'm a combination
of sometimes we do make the same mistakes over and over.
Well, and until you eventually learn. Yeah. Yeah. So we're a culmination of all the good decisions and bad decisions we've made. And so, but I have led a very blessed life and there's definitely a purpose in the calling that I've received. I have acknowledged what is called my why be do. My why be do is why I'm here, what I'm going to be, and what I'm going to do is I'm here to encourage you and all others to pursue their passions of righteous endeavor, whatever that is. And so if I can help and encourage you and equip you and lead you to the connections that make that happen for you, I'm here to assist. So
that's amazing.
My calling is right now, the microcosm is to affect my 3-foot circle on outward. That's where we can make the biggest difference, is that closest to home. And that's one, be good to people.
Yeah.
Treat them as you'd want to be treated, but also operate in this realm of truth. And so right now there's so much political turmoil with a lot of people. You can't name one aspect of your life that's not impacted by either legislation or regulation. So it's best to be engaged to the point where you understand what's really going on and maybe the why behind the what. But I'm the quintessential Boy Scout, raised as a Boy Scout. I look back in my life every time it was school picture day. Ironically, I was in my Scout uniform.
Oh my God, I love it.
So yeah, it's just how it worked out, So I didn't realize what was in store for me moving forward. I was destined to go to the Air Force Academy. I wanted to fly the F-16s. I had that need for speed, but that got derailed because of a major motorcycle accident. And I literally died on the highway. And the only reason I know that to be true is when I set up, several people said, "Oh my God, he's alive." So there's something transformational in that.
You are blessed. You're definitely blessed. God is watching over you. You got the angels following you. That's amazing.
Right.
Not
but
that
what I lost in that
you survived.
And there's a reason for that. I mean, I was given a choice, and it was his way of getting my attention. I was a quick learner, but a slow learner. So it's how that all works. That we all have experiences. But what I lost in that, there was two things. I lost all fear.
Okay.
Because you can't ever operate in a realm of fear. So I operate now in a realm of faith.
Yeah.
You can't do both. And what also got restored is all three of my sons now are Air Force officers, and two got to go to the academy.
Wow.
So I get to live that vicarious through their,
yeah.
And this flag over here is one of several that were missions flown in my honor during different aspects of what's gone on against the war on terror. So I won't divulge too much into what their aspects are because some of it's critical, but just know that we're a patriotic family. We believe in the core values of how and why this country was formed.
Yeah.
And we want to pass that legacy on to our grandchildren's grandchildren.
You gave me goosebumps. That just gave me goosebumps. I can totally resonate with that. Sorry. I just had to oh.
No. And I get teary-eyed. I mean, because there's miracles, that take place if we stop and take it into account and acknowledge those. Yeah. And that's fuel for our passion. That's fuel that recertifies our beliefs and grounds us. So moving forward, just know that I had worked many years in the financial services arena and insurance arena, and I retired early. I was blessed. And I had moved to Hawaii for 3 years. And then when I came back, my sons were the ones kind of called me out. They're saying, "Pops, what are you doing retired? You're too early. You're too young for that." And show us in the Bible where that's applicable. And you raised us under the premise of, if you have the ability, you have the responsibility. So you see what's going on. You're constantly aggravated at what you're seeing taking place. And so do something.
Yes. Either
walk the walk or you're just going to talk the talk. And so this is something that I don't know that I found it or it found me or a combination of both, but looking forward and looking back, I'm where I'm supposed to be.
I love it.
And encouraging people. So with the pandemic, that was an opportunity to evaluate processing. Our company isn't as large as it should be. They're 60 years old, actually 62 years old, but and I think they should be a household name. But the way they've chosen to grow has always been by word of mouth and invitation only. So they have never used social media, things of that nature to reach out and to encourage people to engage. And so using the pandemic as the impetus, I should say, to reach out through this platform, I developed the censorship.com website. And all that really is just a platform to kind of espouse our belief system, those precepts that we talked about. And if you agree with that, then there's a way you can contact me and have a conversation with me. And then I'll guide you through the platform of National Write Your Congressman to see the little key elements that make it so powerful to use your influence as a patriotic American to actually shape legislation.
Yes.
But more importantly, hold your elected officials accountable, because unfortunately, we do have the very government we deserve, because not enough of us have been holding them accountable. And it doesn't take all of us. It just takes enough.
Right.
Okay. And when you understand that only 4% of the population actually fought in the Revolutionary War, 4% can make a big difference.
For sure. That's very powerful. I love that, that little piece of information. Excuse me. With that being said, so you guys, I'm going to do something a little bit different on this episode. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to jump into this platform because I do feel that it's very powerful, and I feel that it is a very necessary resource for a lot of you out there that follow me. I know that you are going to appreciate this. And with that being said, we're going to be going to National Write Your Congressman. So it's
YC.com.
YC.com. Woo!
Yeah. Well, you people up in the Northeast, you start with the N and you just say NYC because you're so New York City. It just is one of those.
Right. There you go. And then in order for you, we're going to take you through that. And if you're interested in joining the platform, you can contact Jerry directly. Jerry, how can people contact you? You can just plug it.
So they can, my link on the WeStandForFreedom.com site will send a link to me to best reach out to you, i.e. time, place, and purpose. But you can actually call me directly on my cell at 512-269-1994 or text. That's my main method of communication.
Awesome.
And then there's the website, of course, and my email address. And you can also find me on LinkedIn under J.R. Penry, just like you see it right here down below in this bottom left-hand corner in front of me.
Awesome.
So,
and I'll have all the links in the description of the episode. So let's jump in. I'm going to share my screen now. I am logged in as myself. And so, Jerry, can you see that?
Yes, I can. So since you're here at the moment, this is something I do in a tutorial once I get somebody engaged. Now, let me show you the most important aspects of what we're talking about. So up there in the header bar, see where it says take action?
Yes.
Click on that. So you're on the live site. And so what you're going to see there is you should see the action alerts. If you'll click on that, this is everything that they voted on this week where you could weigh in on. So we break it down, the top 10, but then there's the federal. And since we're nationwide, we also show you what's going on behind the scenes at your state level. So many times closer to home is more important to you. Okay, so if you'll click on the state icon there, let's see what's going on in your state. And I'm going to have to put my reading glasses on to see.
Yeah.
But very simply, what they're, I'm sorry.
No, and since we're in here, we can go ahead and pick one and show them how we can send a letter really quick. So
sure.
This is where we.
So I think right there, you're in Illinois. So the cash bond reform I heard in your state is a big deal, big issue. Okay, so you want to see what it really says. So click over on the right, versus click to voice your opinion. This is how easy this is. Now, once again, we don't pick sides. Let me reiterate, we're not a lobbying organization. What we really are is a research/watchdog organization. So therefore, we don't show any partiality towards any political candidate or party or belief system.
For everybody.
So we have no, that's right. We have no agenda when it comes to telling people what to think or how to vote. We're here to present the facts, preserve our freedoms and liberties, and provide the access to what's going on. So as you see, what we do is we just show you in layman's terms what the bill says, and then we show you how it's debated for and against.
Right.
Now, what's neat about this is we provide talking points for you. So once you form your opinion and you want to weigh in, so I'm going to let you weigh in on that. Click on your talking point and let me show you the format. So over on the right, next to the message line,
there we go.
There's your talking point. So the format's the same, regardless of what you're looking at as far as legislation. The format's always the same. If you're for the piece of legislation, you would click the top sentence. If you're opposed to it, you would click the second one.
Okay. And I don't exactly, I didn't read it, so I really don't know a lot about this. So.
Well, what this is, it's pretty simple. The lawmakers want to pass legislation which would end the state's cash bond system. And so that's where people.
So they can bond out of jail?
Correct. That's what this is regarding. They feel like this is part of what they consider the reform measures that need to take place. Okay. Now, we're not actually going to submit this. We're just going to show you the process. That way you can keep your preferences confidential. But let's just show the process anyway.
Sure.
So just pick one.
I'll just do business owner. And so then next.
Yeah, as a business owner, I see where the cursor ends up behind there. So you have an option of as a business owner or as a concerned citizen.
Right.
But the most important one, Deanna, you want to go back to that, hit your compose up here next to where it says sender. Hit the compose. Nope, go to the left.
Compose.
Right there, compose. That'll take you back in.
Okay.
You always want to hit your talking points.
Yes.
Regardless of how you stand, you always want that bottom sentence. Open your talking points again. There it is. It says, as a constituent of yours, I would like to know your thoughts on this issue. This is what gets them to respond to you. If you don't put that in there, they don't even have to acknowledge you sent them anything. It's their prerogative. But conversely, when you do put it in there, it paints them in the corner where they need to respond.
Right.
That's the power behind all of this.
Yes.
Okay. And so when you hit the next button, what you'll see happen, we'll go so far as to send it, but we won't send it. So what it does, here's your information. Now hit the preview button. Okay. And what you're going to see is it actually generates a letter to your governor.
Yep.
Scroll up just a little bit so we can see their pictures.
Oh, yeah. Here, hold on. Let me just grab this.
Yeah.
There we go.
So it's going to send a letter to your governor, your state senator, and your state representative. But you only had to type it one time.
Right.
Now, on the phone app, it's even better. You can use the dictation part of it. I've literally done it, set it at a stoplight, and dictated a letter into my congressman. And I sent it at 2:30 in the afternoon, and by 4:30 that afternoon I had a response back.
So let me ask you something in regards to everything that's happening in the world right now, and a lot of my audience, I know that most of you are here in the US. How relevant is this today with everything that's going on that we've witnessed with the both political
Well, it's more so because what we do is we're using technology to leverage our opinions, but more so you're getting the information in a timely manner. See, we're in the information age.
Yes.
And the information does have an expiration date. And so the only way it has value to you is to be relevant, timely, and accurate. And that's what our promise is to our constituents. So when we provide you those facts in nearly real time, you're able to make an impression to your elected official who works for you. You just have to remind them. I always say it's kind of like what, teenagers, they behave a little better when they're being watched. Not perfect, but just a little bit better. Well, you just want to let them know that you're the type of person that not only do you pay attention, but you also vote, and you know others that do the same thing. Let them know what your circle of influence is, and you don't mind using that.
Right. Yes.
Okay. But when they respond back to you in writing, this is a key element to this. So I'm getting ready to take you to that as well. So on the take action again, up here in the black header bar, just go ahead and go back. We're not even going to send this because you're not even finished with it. But that would be the process. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Go over one to the legislation.
Okay. There we go. So
right. Yeah. Click on the legislation. Now hit voting records.
Voting records. Oh,
we can go. Yeah. Right there. What this does and what we do is the day they take votes at the state level and the national level, we send you an email that says, hey, take a look at how they just voted it's real-time fashion. So you can actually weigh in on how your reps voted on those issues. And you can look at the bill. You can just see the abbreviated version, or if you want to do the deep dive, you can do that as well. Wow. But the power behind this is you can literally see. So click on major Senate votes.
Oh, sorry, wrong.
Or House vote. It doesn't matter. So we break it out by chamber. Okay. So here's what just took place this week. We're all aware.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. They did the veto override, and they also voted on the Electoral College. But if you want to see who voted, click the details button. Okay. So it shows you how it came down: 7-4, 92 against. Your personal senators voted no. Okay. Now we also encourage you to vote along with them. So what it does is over time, it keeps a tally.
Sure.
From a percentage standpoint. So when it's time for re-election, you'll know, do you have the right person representing you now? Now, let me show you what's even better. See where it says read more over in the bottom right?
Let's go there.
You can do that.
Okay.
There we go. Now, see there where it says who voted? If you're curious about the rest of the nation, go back up there where it says who voted. Click there.
Yep.
Now you're going to love this. Okay, so what's even better is you can find out who all the yes votes were and who all the no votes.
Wow, let's just think it's wow.
You see that? So now you know who's who. Many times these politicians don't want you to know how they voted, so you can't hold them against them. They can run, but they can't hide.
Right. That's some great information right there.
Yeah. So regardless, like I said, of your political affiliation, okay, I think the majority of Americans can meet in the middle. We all have a lot of things more in common than we have in difference, quite frankly.
Agreed.
I think we all love our families.
Yeah. So
I think we all love our freedom.
I just want to say something really quick. I had a friend that just posted a video on his social media, and it was so powerful. I had to reshare it. And it basically, in his video, he just reminded us that, united we stand, divided we fall. Correct. And I feel like people are, like you said earlier before we start recording, that, more and more people are starting to wake up to what's going on, and they're starting to understand the truth. And I agree. And I just really kind of want to, preface and just, really just encourage people to remember that, we are more powerful together. We don't all have to agree. We do have to respect each other, because a divided nation is surely going to be the ruin of us. So
absolutely. That's it. Same old. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to go off on a tangent, but
no.
I feel like this is so important, because this is for everybody, and I think it's for the greater good. And if we have more and more people that let their voice be heard for a more stable, balanced nation, I think that is really what we all want ultimately.
Well, here's what a lot of us do want, and I've run under this precept of let your yes be yes and let your no be no.
Right.
And so when politicians talk one way to get elected, but vote something entirely different, whose responsibility is it to hold them accountable? Well, it's us, we the people.
Right.
But where do you know? How do you know how they vote? Well, we provide that method where you know how they vote.
Yes, I love this.
Okay. And you'll remember, you and I had the conversation. At the end of the conversation, it just culminated into this very simple sentence. So the good news is you met me.
Yes.
And I provided a solution. Now, here's the bad news. You've met me, and I provided a solution. So what I've done is I've shown you what your responsibilities are. Now it's truly up to you. It's more than just a right and a privilege here in this country. It is actually an obligation that we have, but they quit teaching this years ago so they could keep us in the dark.
Right.
Okay. But I'm trying to tell you, we still have the power under the Constitution. 435 people shouldn't have a complete and absolute control over 300 million people.
Agreed. I completely agree. Is there
Okay.
anything else that you want to
Yeah.
show the audience?
Yeah, right up here on the in the news. I kind of got ahead of myself, but on the
No
in the
worries.
news.
This is great. So
Okay.
where am I going?
Right there. This is typically step one. We passed step one. So hit the R&P so they can see what that looks like. That stands for review and preview. So here's what you can expect as a constituent member of ours is every Monday morning at both the state and national level, only when they're in session, but we simply send out a one-page review of what they talked about the previous week, and then a preview of what they're going to be working on this week. That way, if any of those issues stand out to be an issue you want to weigh in on before it becomes law as they're crafting the legislation, you can. Okay. So scroll down, and I'm going to show you. We keep them in chronological order. So if you want to see what they've talked about in every previous week, you can still weigh in on those issues. Many of those have been tabled or sent to committee.
Sure.
See, they're by week. You see that?
Yes, I see it. Yeah, here. Yeah.
So that's where the stimulus was in there. If you want to see what took place in the voting on the stimulus, you can see that as well.
Well,
on the COVID bills, all that's in there. Yeah. So for those people that want to do deep dives, it's there. It's available. But we're actually built for the busy person.
Right.
We're built for the person that doesn't want to be the political activist. We're built for the person that just needs the facts. Tell me what time it is, and I can move forward.
Right. No,
so it literally takes about 10 to 15 minutes a week at best to be engaged and know the facts. Okay.
Yes.
Now, another thing I'd like to point out, click on elected officials there. And click on my reps. I'm just going to show you how. So these are yours at the top line. But what's even better is we provide every one of them in order. Okay. So if you want to know how to reach out to them, you can click on their picture or their name, and it'll show you their contact information. But even better, under the government access over here, this is a fun one I have fun with. Click that middle one that says government access.
Government. Oh, here, this one right here. Okay.
Yeah. Hit the executive.
Okay.
So at one point, and on cabinet departments and agencies, hit read more.
There we go.
So at one time he had a revolving musical chair scenario in his cabinet. So if you need to know who the current cabinet member is, you can actually look right here. And all government officials have an email address of theirname.gov.
Wow. Okay. That's great.
Okay. But even better, if you noticed, if you'll go back a page or hit that again, you can contact our research department in a number of different ways. So right there, the contact works, or even up there in the search bar, whatever you're looking for. Our research department's available to you.
Okay.
If it's an issue, even on a local level, say you hear a rumor of some ordinance change, you want to find out, well, one, is it constitutional? Two, is it a rumor? Is it a fact? Right. And then three, what's the remedy? And so you can use our research department to find out a lot of what you want to know. So I live in the city of Frisco, Texas.
Okay.
And I belong to a group that was concerned about how fast they're growing. They're worried about the overburden of our infrastructure, water, sewer, electricity, roadways, schools. So they wanted to see what the city charter said. Well, I don't know if you've ever seen a city charter, but they can be quite lengthy.
Okay.
And you just don't go down and get a copy. Okay. Right. And everybody's like, well, can anybody give me a copy? Well, I went right on my phone, went to my research department, and I just asked, hey, can you shoot me a copy or the link to the city charter for the city of Frisco, Texas? Within 15 minutes, they shot me the link. I gave it to everybody that I was meeting with. They all hit on it. They could read right there on their phone or their laptop or iPad, the city charter.
That's awesome. So that's very valuable information to know. Yes. Again, it's rather people are going to want to exercise their resources or not. But I mean, that's why I felt it was very important to get you on here.
So one other thing real quick. So click that legislation, just last thing real quick.
Yep.
Okay. Hit the federal bills. I just want to point out for the deep divers. Now go to the bottom of that page, but you see, I'm going to give you the format. Go to the bottom of the page. In our library, we have access and available to you. We have almost 50,000 pieces of federal laws that you can look at.
That's amazing. Wow.
But it'll show you who sponsored it, the last action taken, the summary, and you can get copies of it. Now, if you have to go to your state, you'll see how many they have for your state as well. You have to hit the legislation button and hit the state legislation.
Oh, there we go. Here, let's look at that really quick.
But you can search it by title, say it was an abortion issue or tax issue or whatever. and it'll find it for you. So in your state,
Ooh,
scroll down.
over 50,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
And as you notice, they're kind of listed in a chronological fashion. So the most current that they've been working on. So that one's a huge one in the House. Child sex offender taxi, limo, something. Anyway, you can see what the last action taken is. Many times things get introduced as a bill and they get sent to committee and then tabled and you never hear from it again.
Right. Yeah.
But that allows them, when they come back to their town hall meetings, when you stand up and say, I have an issue with so-and-so and such, they can say, I actually introduced a bill to address that very issue. They won't tell you that it's disappeared.
Right. Yeah.
But they can pound their chest and say, I'm doing good work for you. It helps to know that it went nowhere.
It's unfortunate that there's no real ability unless we force them to be accountable. Yeah.
There you have it. So just let's roll back that. So most people I talk to are business owners. So a simple question I ask them is, I say, would you hire anybody to come to work for you? Put them to work and never inspect their job, their work they're doing. You never inspect what you expect to happen. Yet we hire these people to represent us and we never inspect what we expect to be happening.
Yep.
There you have it.
There you go. There's some very
I can't put it any plainer.
Words.
Yeah. But like I said, we're just using technology. We're now in the day and age we can do that.
And you know what? You have all the information that you need at a finger touch. Like if you are on this, if you're a member to this organization or that joined through you, you can do, like you said, there's a phone app that people can go on their phone and just do it really quick and make their voice known and just keep it moving. So, I mean, I think that's incredible.
Yes. Now, our membership dues are tax deductible to business owners because we're not a lobbying group. Okay. And they're very affordable. It's less than your Netflix account. I mean, it amazes me people spend more money on their lattes from Starbucks and their Netflix account than they will to protect their liberties and freedoms under the Constitution.
Yeah, say that again, because that really should resonate with a lot of people. That, I was like, wow, wait a second, that's true.
It is true. Yeah. So we don't take money from millionaires. We're 100% supported by our members because our promises to our members.
Right.
If we were to take money from a millionaire, billionaire person, then we have to prostitute our values to the whims of that donor. Do we not?
Yes.
And our promises to you, the member.
Yes.
So that's why we work the way we do. Okay.
Yeah, were you done?
We don't have to twist our.
Were you done?
Yes. No, that's, to me, that's the highlight reel.
Yeah.
Like I said, we could talk all day on examples, but no, that's most people just need to know how to tell time. They don't need to know how to build the clock.
Yes. Yeah. And if anybody has questions, they can always contact you directly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for their benefit, to empower them in the most effective way I found. Now, I preface that with, I've looked high and low, and I have not found a more effective or efficient method or manner to have that impact, to weigh in and hold them accountable. Now, if you find it, let me know. I'll be the dog on that bone. But in the meantime, I'm on this one.
No, this is a pretty good find right here. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to share it with my audience and just get it in front of people's faces so that they know that they do have resources out there. Because from my conversations, a lot of people are frustrated, and I think this would be a great tool for them to kind of let their frustrations out in a healthy way and let their voice be heard. So, and
they can do it from the comfort of their own home, anonymously, even if they want to. Nobody, I mean, we don't produce a membership list.
Yeah.
That way we could never sell a membership list. We're forbidden to.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, of course. And so, but one other thing, just let me throw this out there. So you've invited me onto your platform, which I'm very honored to be here. If any of your people that watch are part of a civic group that's still doing Zoom meetings or something like that, they need a presenter or a spokesman to show up, I'm the guy. Call me. I've got a great presentation I can do to inform people.
Yes, I love that. Okay, great.
I make myself available.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
Not at this point. I mean, people's going to have some questions and have them reach out to me.
Perfect. With that being said, why don't you go ahead and plug your websites again really quick?
Sure. The website's westandforfreedom.com. And that basically is a way that you can see if you agree with what we stand for.
Yes.
And then if you want to have a conversation, there's a connect with Jerry. I'm adding to that on an ongoing basis. It's an information site, but it's not transactional. You can't conduct any business on there.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Other than reach out and have a conversation with me. But like on the Bill of Rights, you can click on the picture of the Bill of Rights or the word Bill of Rights, and it'll take you to the Bill of Rights.
Love it.
So you can see all those amendments.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to be adding content to that as well. Okay. But the purpose of that was to be able to find my people.
Right.
And you're one of my tribe, of course. All right.
I am.
Woo! And, well, that's the thing. See, you think about it, that's the power behind something good can come out of something bad. The pandemic's not pleasant for most people. We've all suffered something.
Yes.
But in that, you and I have now been able to meet and connect and do something.
Agreed. Yeah.
Positive. And that's the spin of it. So the paradigm shifted, and I don't think we're ever going back.
No.
But the good news is there still is hope. We haven't lost anything unless we quit. You still have to stand for what you believe in.
Yes.
You still have to fight the good fight and just be good to yourself and be good to others. Good things will happen.
Amen. Amen. Well, with that being said, Jerry, thank you so much for being on my podcast. I'm excited to share it with everybody. As always, you guys, this is your host, Deanna Kuempel with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I will be back to you soon with more great guests. Have a great day.